Hey Flower Tribe, it's Kelly Lehman from Cranberry Fields Flower Farm, and I'm coming to you from behind the camera today, and I want to show you some of the steps that I'm taking to revive this plant and bring it back from the dead. So it's not completely dead yet. We had a really high temperature week and I was away, and this plant did not get watered, and I didn't get a chance to put it in the ground yet, and it didn't get any rain. So I'm going to show you some of the steps that I take to kind of revive this plant. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for signs of life, because sometimes it's just too far gone that it's not even worth the work to put into it. But I'm seeing some really good signs of life. Of course, there's some fresh flowers that catch my eye right off the bat. So that's a terrific sign. That's like the best sign. I'm noticing some green stems here, because usually when a plant is dead, most of the stems look more like this guy, and they're kind of brown and they're black. They don't look like there's any sign of life in them, but I'm looking at some really nice green stems. And I'm also looking at signs of new growth, especially towards the base of the plant, like the bottom of the plant here. So there's some new flowers that want to sprout up. And I'm also seeing that new growth over here on some of these little side shoots here. So if I look just above some of these, dried up flowers, I'm seeing that new growth on the side. And that's very promising. It shows that the plant is trying to start like a rebirth. So I'm going to help it out, and these are some of the steps that I'm doing. The first thing I did was I gave it a boatload of water, and I also went into the soil, and I loosened up the soil with my fingers because it was so dry that the top layer almost felt like cement. So I had to kind of loosen that up, because if I wasn't to do that with my hand, the water that I put in might have just kind of trickled off the side and just run down the sides of the pot, and it might not have actually hit the root system because it was kind of like so cemented in because of that dry heat that we had. So I kind of loosened up the soil all the way around the pot. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all these, spent blooms, all the dead ones. But what I'm going to try to do is to come right above a fresh set of either new leaves or new growth. And that's what I did here. You can tell there was a stem that was right here. I clipped it off, and I clipped it right above this little set of like brand new leaves and like a little flower coming through. So I'll show you what that looks like over here. Let me find another one. So I'm looking at some fresh green growth over here. I'm going to go right above that fresh growth and snip off that dead bloom. And now it's going to encourage these two to become flowers like a little bit faster. It's going to kind of help them out. And I'm also going to help them out by cutting off the dead leaves that are right beneath it. So this leaf is like super dead. Goodbye. I'm snipping off this guy underneath it over here. Goodbye. And I'm doing the same thing with the rest of this plant. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to just snip. And I wish this plant was a little bit more mature, because I might have been able to use some of the seeds that would have formed on top here, but they're just not mature enough yet. So that's not going to happen, because I'm not going to get any viable flowers from them. So I'm just going to discard them in garbage. I'm not going to mulch these over into my garden because they have a lot of mold. And these flowers could be, these leaves are probably very diseased right now. So I'm going to make sure that I dispose of them. I just throw them away. So I'm going to just keep snipping away. And when I'm done, I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm cutting these leaves, leaving the new growth. Once again, more new growth here. Snipping away all this dead stuff. Sometimes I have to kind of snip away and then come back and look for that new growth. So here's some of that new growth. I'm going to get rid of the leaves around it that are yuck. I'm also going to make sure that I'm cleaning out the leaves that fell into the pot, because once again, these leaves are super moldy, they're diseased, and if I leave them in the soil of the pot, it's going to infect the soil, and then I'm going to have a whole nother set of issues. So let's get rid of these. This is basically what the plant looks like now. This plant is actually called the Denver Daisy. I found a little tag in here. So I'm hopeful that we can get this plant back to life soon. So we're in August now. It's like the first week of August. And I know that this plant is supposed to continue to bloom all the way through the first frost. So I'm hopeful to have at least, I don't know, like another 2 months of beautiful flowers from this plant once it comes back from the semi-dead. All right, wish us luck. Good luck with the plant. You could do it. So I'm realizing that I'm just going to cut off these two flower heads. Number one, this stem is way too long. Everything else is so much shorter. It's going to have this wonky stem anyway. And like I said, I don't want the plant to go to seed, so I'm going to wind up just giving this a little deadheading so it doesn't have to worry about seed production on this flower. It can just worry about its roots and its leaves and the stems. So goodbye, little flower. I'm going to, once again, I'm going to go right above like a fresh set of leaves, like a fresh little nub, and I'm going to cut it there. this is going to encourage these guys to grow stronger. And the same thing here. I'm going to come down to a fresh set of leaves, give it a clip. Okay, and this guy, same thing here. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. Wow, you are really balding. All right. Well, wishing you luck, hoping my basil plant will encourage you. And this is what my plant looks like just a few weeks later. So good job, Denver Daisy. You did really good. Hope you guys found this helpful. A little thunder in the background. Holy smokes. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful. And also leave me a comment. Let me know where you're viewing this from in this great, big, beautiful world. See you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining us in this video. And please say hi to us over on my Cranberry Fields Instagram page. You can also find us on TikTok. And I made a whole bunch of podcasts for you. You can find those wherever you listen to your podcast. And know that I made a whole bunch of online flower courses for you with easy to follow tips on how to grow beautiful flowers just like these in your own gardens. I will put all of those in descriptions below. And please also let me know where you're viewing this from in this great, big, beautiful world. I love to see how our flower tribe is growing around the globe each week. Also check out our Kelly Lehman's Flower Tribe Facebook group because there's thousands of gardeners from all over the world and they're asking and answering loads of garden questions over there. And know that YouTube has allowed me to have a super thanks button attached to this channel. And if you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee or let us know if you appreciate these videos, that would be terrific. Or you could just give us a like or a comment below. I would appreciate that. And I will see you guys in the next video.